So today, we are making the most delicious homemade biscuits that are gonna seriously blow you away. By the way, biscuits are known as scones in the United Kingdom. Anyways, we're talking Spanish paprika biscuits. Now this is a recipe that hails from a small town that's called Úbeda in the province of Jaén in the beautiful region of Andalusia. And let me tell you, these biscuits have the most incredible textures and flavors to them, thanks to the extra virgin olive oil and the sweet smoked Spanish paprika. And the recipe is so easy to make, like seriously, no tricky techniques and no special equipment, just simple hometown baking, folks. Not only are these biscuits super delicious, but they come together in just 30 minutes from start to finish. Let's begin by adding in 3 cups of all-purpose flour into a large bowl, which is 360 grams. Now to make these biscuits, you can also use whole wheat flour or even a mixture of whole wheat and all-purpose flour. And as for the measurements, they don't have to be right on the money. This is a very forgiving recipe, meaning if your measurements are slightly off, the biscuits are still gonna beautifully come out. Then I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of baking powder, which is 12 grams. If you don't have baking powder, you can substitute it for a mix of 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, which is 3.6 grams, with 1.5 teaspoons of either lemon juice or white wine vinegar, which is 7.5 milliliters, and just whisk it together. And we'll also add in 3/4 of a teaspoon of fine sea salt, which is 4.5 grams. And we'll mix the dry ingredients together. Then we'll make a well in the flour. Add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. And 1 cup of cold water, which is 240 milliliters. And we'll mix the ingredients together until we start forming a dough. Once you reach a dough-like texture, we're going to get in there with our hands to continue to mix this together. Before you do that, make sure you remove any of the dough that's stuck to the utensil that you used to mix the ingredients. That way nothing gets left behind. And using your fist, you just want to push down on the dough and then gently fold it together and continue to do this until all the ingredients are well mixed. And as you're doing this, make sure to grab that dough and scrape it around the bowl. That way none of the ingredients get left behind. Once you've ended up with a beautiful silky dough, this only took about 1 minute to do. Make sure to lightly knead it inside of the bowl just for about 30 seconds. This is to ensure that all the ingredients are well mixed in there. And we'll shape it into a ball. Then we'll sprinkle some all-purpose flour on a clean flat surface. Add the ball of dough on top. And cut it into 2 evenly sized pieces. Then we'll shape each piece of dough into a ball and cut each ball of dough into 6 evenly sized pieces to end up with a total of 12 pieces of dough. And then we'll shape each piece of dough into the form of a ball. And let me tell you, it doesn't have to be a perfect ball shape here. The most important thing is that each piece of dough is the same size. That way later on when we bake them, the biscuits evenly bake. For the next step, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into a small bowl, which is 30 milliliters, and 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams. As always, the paprika that I'm using is from Cuba. In my opinion, one of the best Spanish paprikas out there. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. And we'll whisk this together until everything's well mixed and that paprika has dissolved into the olive oil. Then I'm going to grab a round baking pan. The size of this one is 8 inches in diameter, which is 20 centimeters. And the one that I'm using has a clip on it. That way you can easily remove the top part. I like to use this baking pan when I'm making these biscuits. That way once they're done, I just remove that piece from there and you can easily remove the biscuits. However, you can use a regular and traditional baking pan here. Just when those biscuits are done, place a plate over the baking pan and flip them into the dish. I'm going to grab some of our olive oil and paprika mixture and brush it all over the baking pan. This is not only going to help the dough not stick on there, but it's also going to help flavor the bottom part of the biscuits. And then we'll add in our pieces of dough into the baking pan, making sure they're on a single layer and tightly packed together. And for the final step, we're going to brush the paprika and olive oil mixture all over the pieces of dough, making sure you cover that entire top surface. And we'll sprinkle each piece of dough with a little coarse sea salt. And we're going to add our baking tray into a preheated oven, bake only option. That's just the bottom heat, 210 degrees Celsius, which is 410 degrees Fahrenheit. Now my oven, it takes between 22 to 23 minutes to perfectly cook these biscuits. However, every oven heats differently, so it might take you 20 minutes or even up to 26 minutes. The best way to know when they're perfectly cooked through is just pierce them with a toothpick, and if it comes out cleanly, they are ready to go. After about 23 minutes, these biscuits should be perfectly cooked through. I'm going to remove them from the oven. And as you can see, by using a baking pan with a clip on it, you can easily remove that top part to remove the biscuits from the baking pan. Once again, if you use a standard pan, you just place a plate over it and then flip it to remove the biscuits. I'm going to transfer these into a bread basket. Check it out, folks. Our Spanish paprika biscuits are done. These are known here in Spain as Ochíos de Úbeda. Super easy to make, done in just 30 minutes, and that paprika and olive oil mixture is going to take them to the next level, folks. Serve these hot and fresh, and they're going to completely blow you away. Let's give them a try and see how they turned out. Seriously, look how beautiful these biscuits came out. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not much of a baker, and every time I make these biscuits, they always perfectly turn out. Here we go. That is some serious goodness. As for the texture, it's exactly what you would expect from a biscuit, but the beauty here is that topping with the extra virgin olive oil and the sweet smoked Spanish paprika, taking these biscuits to the next level in goodness. You saw this so easy to make, no tricky techniques, no special equipment, and came together in just 30 minutes. Give these a try at home, and I promise they're going to become your favorite biscuits ever, and you just might get addicted to them because they are that good. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Amy Martinez, Yvette Rivera, Nancy T, David Anthony, Michael Fenter, and Catherine Clark. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon and you'd like to support the show, you'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Incredible episode, and I'm telling you, these biscuits, they seriously are highly addictive. I literally want to grab all these and lock myself in the closet. Love you. See you in the next video.